And welcome, race fans, to another episode here at the CRN with the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing League with the next gen cars. Tonight, they will tackle on Bristol Motor Speedway, half-mile track here that is very, very fast. Got high banking, one of those track that just says speed. Personally, I got my very, very first win here, which seems forever ago now. It's been about 5 years, but a nice cool night here should help with the track temperature and tire wear, as it's only 69 degrees out with 74-degree track temps, light wind and partly cloudy. Again, I'm Jimmy Covert here with CRN. I'll be joined eventually here with Carl Handwerk as he's finishing up over there with CRSRL at Hockenheim. They're running there. They got this race tonight and then a 2-hour finale next week that we will be covering. So, but tonight we'll be here with Pit Road Speed Limit as they tackle on one of their tracks that's for the season. So we'll go down here and we'll see how everybody's doing. Let's go trackside here, see if we can catch somebody. Like this here. Oh, just getting done there. And it does look like a lot of drivers are already getting times, and 12 drivers already in. Still have 5 more to go. So 5 more people can get drivers or times in. We're going to be here for 175 laps, folks, but as you can see, 175 laps at 14 seconds, 15 seconds, it's going to fly right on by. So it doesn't take long to knock those out. It's about 45 minutes if they were to go green flag from start to finish. We know that this track can be very, very racy with the amount of speed. New tires are huge. Strategy is huge, and you know, if they don't have a caution fest race, they could find themselves needing to make that awesome pit stop in order to have a great finish here tonight. So looks like Joe Francis has the provisional pole here so far. We know that they give everybody 10 minutes if needed until everybody kind of gets their laps in. So 3 more drivers to get out there and get their lap times in here at Bristol, and they will see if they can get better. Joe Francis, Thomas O'Connor there, provisional second, with TJ Hanley and number 27 and the 21 of Richard Covington Jr. sitting in 4, and Dylan Jacobs currently make up your top 5. Kyle Emerson, Kent Bice, Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson, Cody Handler, Tiffany Ellis, William O'Connor, Anthony Emerson, Chase Boulard all have times in. That's your 14 drivers with times in. Charlie Stafford still waiting to see if he can get out there and get a lap in, and Josh Duncan along with Matthew Hake. And it does look like they are going to fast forward here. It does look like the time is changing as well, as this race, I believe, is into the night or in the morning. I think it's at night. I think. Just to check the time. But we'll go ahead and get down trackside here just momentarily, and I'll show those results here as well. So let me get empty these out for you all and show you the grid. And there is the grid. 17 drivers on the field here tonight. Joe Francis on the pole, like I said, with Thomas O'Connor, TJ Hanley, Richard Covington, Dylan Jacobs, Kyle Emerson, Kent Bice, Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson, and Cody Handler for your top 10. Tiffany Ellis just outside the top 10 in 11th with William O'Connor, Anthony Emerson, Chase Bullard, Josh Duncan, Charlie Stafford, and Matthew Hake. Give a shout out there to Kelly Hacker, and everything's going good here tonight so far. Carl and me are split up momentarily. We aren't attached at the hip like maybe some may think, but he's over there broadcasting, finishing up a broadcast with the CRSRL over at Hockenheim as they were tackled over there for 45 minutes road course with the GT3 cars. But tonight here with myself, and Carl will be here shortly, is going to be with Pit Road Speed Limit Racing with the next gen cars here at Bristol. Come on, Jimmy. These cameras will work for me. There we go. Get this out. Get some race things up here. Get this up. Get the tower temporarily so you can see where everybody's at. We'll take that down so you can maximize. We can maximize the viewing here tonight of the cars. You can just see how dark it is as the sun comes down, and the lights are not quite out just yet. Almost makes me think I like my my PC settings are too dark, and then I know they're not because the SDK stuff's bright as heck in my face. So definitely dark out there on the track as the sun goes down here at Bristol. But we can see the cars out there for the most part. Bright blue Joe's number out there lead the way here. Joe Francis on the loud pedal here at Bristol. Underway, 175 laps. Down to turn 1, you can see P number 2 getting really close to that wall, trying to get that run down the backstretch to get a run on Joe. Not able to make it happen as Joe continues to hit that bottom as early on as possible. Gets lap 1 in the books as the leader. Thomas O'Connor in second. Does look like Matthew Hake came down to pit lane. Not quite sure for what. Go back here just a little bit and farther the field, see how everybody's doing. Does look like everybody's running pretty much single file at the moment. On top of Anthony Emerson back here in 14th place, and you can see just how quickly around these corners you can go. Very high banking here. It holds all that speed of these cars. Oh, we lose it here with on board. Anthony Emerson goes in and hits the inside wall. It's going to stay green, but definitely losing lots of time here as the 42 is back up on the track. Down at the front, you can see the hood just kind of bouncing. Going to bring it down into pit lane. So early wreckage there by the of the 42 of Anthony Emerson as he down in as the field goes by. We'll go ahead and hop over to somebody else. So, if I do this again, I'm gonna stop hopping on the top of people's cars. But now we're gonna ride on board with the 17 Dakota Handler right behind Dylan Emerson in P number 9. So you can see drivers up there to the high side trying to get everything they can out of here. I do know once upon a time the high line was the line around here, and it was just quick and it was hard to pass unless you had new tires or the drivers would go underneath you. You can see Tiffany Ellis making a pass there on Cody Handler and then number 88, the Pink Mountain Dew machine. Joe Francis still up front working that bottom here. Well, lap number 9 of 175, only one incident, one parked early. Yeah, but plenty more racing to go. Kelly, it's something we just thought like, hey, let's do this for the friends and family out there. How it's kind of blossomed and it's nice to hear that and get those compliments. So we really do appreciate that. We appreciate y'all coming here and hanging out with me and Carl and anybody else that broadcasts on CRN and seeing these drivers out here do what they love to do, along with yourself. Kind of get out there and run these races. It's just a lot of fun to just it's more, I don't know, you get in touch, especially when you start meeting all the drivers and getting to know them here, and you kind of get a little background story on everybody as well. It's just like going to your local tracks, in my opinion. I love the hobby. I love the people. And I don't think if it wasn't for league racing, I probably would have quit iRacing years ago now. Try to see what's going on here around the field. We are in the midst of the leader, going around some lap traffic here early already. So you can see Joe Francis. Oh no, never mind. Excuse me. That's for the lead. TJ Hanley getting up there to battle for the lead here. I thought it was a lap car. Joe working the high side, TJ working the bottom, and it can happen here. This is why I like Bristol, the speed, the multiple lines. It's not just a one-line track. You see that high side really gets that battle going there in the high side. Joe catching the outside wall, but yeah, you can just see that high side just kind of catching the grip and being able to get the runs, and you know, you're gonna see drivers work that, and it takes a lot. You know, I'm not the big, like, I used to run a lot of ovals, not so much anymore, but running the high line used to be a very hard challenge, just kind of knowing exactly where your car was so it doesn't touch that wall and slow you down at all. But if you can nail it, man, you can really get some runs out of the corners. Hey, good shout out there, Mike Casey, as well as Kelly, and yeah, you're right. You know, the only reason I like to have the A license is only so I'm not limited on what car I can get into if I want to run an official. I have my A license and everything I need except the dirt side of the house, and I got up to a B in dirt oval, and that was pretty much it. I don't think there was any A races for dirt ovals, so there was no need to. And I am not a huge fan of the dirt road courses. I don't have fun there. I'd rather do ovals, and I know you guys hear me say I don't like ovals, so it's pretty bad. I enjoy my endurance races a lot. I like, and that's because they're team events, and it's you know, doing stuff together as a team and camaraderie, just having fun, hanging out for a weekend. But right now, somebody hanging out front is Joe Francis in that #1 spot, followed by TJ Hanley in the number 27. Thomas O'Connor is in third. Richard Covington is in fourth, with Dylan Jacobs making up your top 5. Cody Brewer, Dylan Emerson, Kyle Emerson, Kent Bice, and Tiffany Ellis for your top 10. I'll go ahead and bring up the tower, show you the gap between those drivers right now. Still 14 cars on the lead lap here at Bristol. I know there's only 17 out there. That's still a nice amount of cars. That's actually almost the perfect amount of cars. And you can, if you look at the track map, my Skittles are kind of all over the place. And that's everybody, just, you know, their different scale levels, you know, whether they're burning down the tires or, you know, whatever it may be, because you can rip through your tires pretty quickly here, probably at about 15 laps, and they're probably toast. If you don't know how to take care of them and you're just overdrive the car all the time. I think I was talking to Carl, and he put up a poll. You know, if you had to go back, what's the one thing you'd like to learn how to do? Me is learn how to basically not burn up my tires, but still be fast. Well, caution flag flies here on lap 29 of 175. I'm trying to see if anything happened. Let me see here. Okay, well, you guys don't need to see the chat very much, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, this looks like just a regular iRacing caution. I don't know what happened. Okay, well, not quite sure. Maybe Charlie, was it Charlie Stafford? Maybe? No, he was just slowing down. Not sure, folks. Didn't get a read on what happened out there, but gives everybody the opportunity to come down to pits. Lap 30 of 175. The field is in. Joe Francis and TJ and everybody else out there. Yeah, I haven't mentioned the thumbs yet. I give everybody the opportunity. I asked for my thumbs. I'm gonna start putting my face cam up. I gotta make sure Carl has one, and then put I gotta build like a little booth or something down there, so everybody can see our reactions when stuff's happening. But anyways, yeah, it's a good stop here. It does look like Joe Francis is going to come back out on top over TJ as I catch back up to the pace car. Obviously, half a mile track here. You know, you can go multiple laps down if you pit. So you want to get them pits in under caution if and when they're out, so you're not the odd man out. And definitely a difference between the 32 lap tires and what you've started with would be you know, race implications, especially if you start front. The drivers, you just get eaten up, so you don't want to be that driver. I know a lot of times towards the end of the race, some people will try to stay out and try to get a better finish, but usually doesn't work well at some of these shorter tracks where tires are so important. Pace cars in the number 50 going down the front stretch out of turn number 4, getting ready to get on the green pedal. The lights are out. They are green. The number 50 of Joe gets a nice jump start there over the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Richard Covington falls in the third. It's a few drivers up front get jockey around just a little bit. You see the 5 running up against the wall, bangs just a little bit, but is able to keep it going straight. Get away with that once or twice, but one too many times you'll turn yourself in with a meatball or down into the infield into somebody else, bringing out another caution. But big battle there for fourth is Dylan Jacobs. Does get by Dylan Emerson. Some jockeying around back here along with Cody Brewer. Cody Brewer falling down just a little bit, but another yellow flag flies. Something happening to the 17. Oh, some front end damage there. I don't see what happened, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna pause. Click on a 17 because I think it was a 17. Slow down, see what happens to the 17 because I think this is where it comes out. Oh. Car slowing the outside. Tiffany Ellis slows up. The 17 does not see it. Gets in the back of Tiffany Ellis. Down the backstretch, gets into the wall, sends the 17 for a ride to solo. Who was that was slowing down though? Who was that green car? Was it William? Oh, he was slightly sideways too. Who was that? Nope, not them. C plus position. There they are. It was the 12 of Cody Brewer having issues. Did a good job. Got sideways there, able to kind of take the hit, bounce off the wall. But yeah, Tiffany Ellis definitely checking up for that, which obviously she needed to do. But 17 not catching up. Obviously, I see a little banging action there with the 24 and the 27 as well. So yeah, some bumping and banging. Another caution flies here early on. We're on lap number 38 of 175 already, just like that, folks. 40 laps almost in the books. They fly by here at Bristol, that's for sure. Joe Francis is still your leader over Thomas O'Connor. Richard Covington sitting in third, and Dylan Jacobs still in Emerson. 6 car has a nice paint. Allegra. I like the purple. I like that purple. The purple and pink and yellow. It's got a good combo to it.
Speaking of good combo, the combo is has finally together. Here's
finally my peanut butter to my jelly sandwich. Said I told him, like almost connected at the hip. But yeah, out there, just obviously some fans joining in here. I see Emma finally joined us here tonight, so just shout out to Emma saying let's go Bice, as Bice is currently sitting in P number 6, up a spot from the start. So yeah, let's see what he can do tonight in the Raven car.
And back to racing here, as it is Joe Francis at the front, Thomas O'Connor Richard Covington, Dylan Jacobs, and Dylan Emerson for the top 5. And I do want to welcome everyone coming over from the CSRO broadcast, as they got to watch a heck of a finish there for a couple positions. Not going to give anything away. I'm going to make you go over there and watch it, because it's definitely worth the watch to see the ending of that one over there. For a little bit of road racing over there in Germany. But here we got short track racing here in the States, and at a very, very iconic racetrack here at Bristol. I mean, they've done just about everything here at Bristol for a short track. It's kind of amazing how much stuff they've done here, not just on the racing service. Obviously they've done, hosted all the major NASCAR Truck Series, Xfinity Series, which I guess is going to be the O'Reilly's Series coming up here next year. But they threw some dirt down on here. They had the World of Outlaws sprint cars, the World of Outlaws late models. They hold. I think at least they used to. I don't know if they do anymore. I haven't looked, but I know that they used to have like once a year where they tried to see who could set the fastest lap record here for a half mile on a track. And drivers would come here with completely modified cars, things that look like basically asphalt sprint cars to get around here and then turn some of the fastest laps ever. It's amazing. But even on the infield, I mean, I know they've had football games in the infield. This past, I believe it was last month or the month before, they had the Speedway Classic, where they had the Major League Baseball game right here in the middle of Bristol, which unfortunately didn't exactly turn out the way they wanted it to. It was an absolute disaster, but that's beside the point. We're here racing with the next gens for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series here at Bristol. And right now, again, it is Joe Thomas out front. Not too much jockeying in the front couple spots here. A little close battling there between the 28 and the 12 right there. Got a little close and friendly there, but we'll keep this thing under green as Stafford now looks to make a move on TJ Hanley.
Yeah, TJ bet back a few spots, was running up front there, not too long ago, and you can see the 6 getting up against the wall there a little bit, slowing up, and a lot of them drivers trying to get up there and make that outside work. There is plenty of speed up there, that's for sure. It's just getting so close to that wall that can be nerve-wracking, and if you're hesitant, you can find yourself coming down too fast into somebody, or if you're too slow, your car gets into the wall and it's like a handbrake, and it's not worth it being up there. But you can see the nice runs that they do get off the corner here. But if you got nice new tires, or newer tires, or driving a little bit harder, you can get that inside to work just as well. That's kind of like why I like this track, Carl. You can't block the whole thing. There is multiple ways around. We've had some pretty fun races here. You talk about what in real life they've done here, with the football games, the baseball games. They put dirt on this thing. They've done pretty much everything. Well, we've done a lot of that stuff as well with in a series we had over in the Core League with the Premier Series, and we used to bring the jumpy trucks here on the asphalt. It was always a blast to get the guys kind of out there kind of laughing and giggling as they let their hair down and have fun. But we got another caution here. I didn't quite see what happened here on lap 55, so we need a spot.
Probably Stafford has a meatball.
And well, let's go see.
Could be there.
We'll go back with Stafford. See what happened if that's.
Well, as you are getting back up to speed
There you
here,
go.
I'll switch over so I can see what is going on. At least give the audience out there an idea of.
I think
what
we're
we're looking
back.
at.
There we go. I think we're back, folks. I gotta bring up. Shut down your if you're attached to me at all, and your
right now. Go ahead. You're good now. Well, up front, it is Joe Francis still leading the way. TJ Hanley now up into second place. Thomas O'Connor, Turtle Kyle, and Dylan Lizard Jacobs for your top 5 as we are fully back under green here and even getting close to that halfway point. Already 65 laps into this race, and definitely under green that the laps tick away here very quickly. But you know, even under caution, they go by quickly to the point where maybe with the size field here tonight with 17 cars, it may not happen. But I mean, we've seen before with bigger size fields, you come into the pits and there's a chance under caution that you can go down a lap.
Yeah, it obviously with the small tracks, there's a real big chance of going a lap down. You know, you're in there for 30, 40 seconds, and you find yourself in a pickle where you don't want to be. So definitely need to be careful. So trying to do stuff and talk at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, obviously Joe Francis is still up front here. We are on lap 69 of 175. TJ Hanley is back up at P number 2. You see a little bit of damage on the front end of that number 27. Running the bluish purple here tonight. Then Kyle Emerson back there in P number 3. Thomas O'Connor has fallen back to 4th. Dylan Jacobs sitting back there in 5th. Cody Brewer is in 6th. Ken Bice still sitting in 7th in that Falcons machine. Josh Duncan back there in 8th. And Tiffany Ellis in 9th. Round out your top 10 is going to be William O'Connor. So everybody pretty much up a few spots or is sitting at the same spot from the beginning. Only one having issues was back there, and then number 21 of Richard Covington Jr. You can see him right behind the number 24. I heard something, so I heard somebody. Pace car is out here on lap number 72, and it does look like Thomas O'Connor was involved in this one.
Oh, gets hooked by the 5 of Dylan Jacobs up into the wall. And pointed the wrong way is the 18 of Thomas O'Connor. Looks like, I mean, if that's bump drafting at Bristol, you're not doing it the right way. I don't think you should be doing it to begin with, but that's not the way to do it, guys.
Bumper to bumper. I mean, flipping each other off. I mean, they holding hands, blowing kisses. But it looks like the 18 and the 5 finally untangle. And get those cars kind of around. Here comes the 18. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, the 17 hitting the 18. It stinks.
Right at the end there, yeah. Kind of reminds me, I forget what movie it was, but it's when both the cars get locked in together and they're both yelling at each other to put their car in reverse to try and get out of it. But while we got some time, we'll talk about the point standings coming in here. Dylan Emerson still leading the points by a pretty good margin by 33 points over Thomas O'Connor. Obviously, O'Connor getting involved in this one. Dylan Jacobs, another 2 points back in 3rd. Matthew Hake, Kyle Emerson for your top 5. Jared Dewan, TJ Hanley, Tiffany Ellis, Cody Handler, and Richard Covington for your top 10 in the points. But I mean, it's Bristol. It's short track racing, and little incidents can happen. This one here, it's tight racing. I mean, it's hard to kind of judge. You're having to think about the next corner by the time you're getting out of the previous corner, and sometimes sometimes you kind of lose track of where you're at. I mean, you go around, especially when you get into a long green flag run here at Bristol. I know there's times where 1 and 2 handles differently compared to 3 and 4. I mean, they're shaped pretty much the same, but they handle just a little bit differently. And if you go into 1 and 2 thinking it's 3 and 4, all of a sudden it's gonna mess you up here a little bit, and sometimes you lose your bearings here, even though it's just a short little half-mile track. I mean, you think going on tracks like the Nürburgring, where it's 37 miles long and 150 corners. If I can remember that track, you think I'd be okay at Bristol. But I mean, there's times where I kind of lose myself a little bit while I'm out here driving. But either way, we're going to have one more pace lap, and then we'll get this thing back underway.
Yeah, just we'll hop on board here with Cody Handler here for the start. We'll go down into the actual cockpit camera when I can find it. We'll hop on board here with Cody, and you'll kind of see what the drivers experience here. I mean, it's very short, and you almost can get dizzy. I know it doesn't. It just kind of feels like you're never get a break, and you'll see how fast everything kind of. You don't see much in front of you, so you only see, like, you can see probably more of the corner on the straightaway than when you get close, like, to it or into it. You can only see about a quarter of it, so and you're going so fast, so that's why it's very easy not to see somebody. You're like, you didn't see me? No, I didn't see you until like the last second. Just what happens here at Bristol. It's fast. So away they go here. Starting the lap of number 78. We're on board here with the 17 of Cody Handler. He's right behind William O'Connor and company, but goes to the outside, and you can just see how fast it is up there. And we're gonna go for a little sideways spin.
Spin around as well.
Oh, and a little spin, and we got hit. And yes, just like that, folks. That's all she wrote. We'll take an outside look here of what happened on board the 17 as the caution flies again at lap 79.
Yeah, it seemed like he just got into the corner a little too hot and heavy. Got the front right into the corner, maybe try to gas it up a little bit to get off, and it did not happen too nicely as the 60 gets into the 17, and then I think he might even get close to getting tagged there by the 88, but it looks like he gets away with that one. 54, big net code there, about a foot, maybe 2 feet in net code, and that's a shame right there. And then a 42 gets a piece right at the end as well. And Handler's going to have some damage to fix after this one. But it's going to bring us under another caution here. And we are, again, we're halfway, or, well, not halfway just yet, but very, very close to halfway here in this race. So we'll see if these drivers can shake it off here a little bit. They do only have a certain amount of fast repairs out here. They only got 3 fast repairs here for the race. And it's a track where you don't really need the cleanest car out there. You can get out there with some damage, and we've seen some beat up cars already make it to pit lane, or not to pit lane, to victory lane. But you kind of want that handling, and you have a little bit of bumps and bruises, and it's going to handle bad in the corners. It's going to wear out those tires unevenly, not the way you want them to, and it can lead to a long night for you. So you really want to try and keep this thing as clean as possible. I know it's easier said than done, but we'll see what these drivers do here as we get close to the second half of this race. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight and through the issues here, but we got them all up and fixed here again. So thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer as seasons are starting to wind down here. As we've been mentioning here at the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, they got quite a few races left as they'll go all the way into to mid-October. Bristol here tonight will end off the racing here for August. They'll be back at it again, Jimmy, at Michigan, and unfortunately I know that's going to be the one that you're going to be missing out here, because me and you will be over there for the 2-hour season finale for the CSRL GT3 series, but we will have coverage here on CRN as our co-commentators Alan and Jack are going to be handling the series here for that week, and we'll be here in spirits, because it's not often that we miss a broadcast that we're scheduled for, let alone it be in Michigan. I just it tears my heart out, Jimmy. But speaking of out, we got another yellow flag out here, as I'm not sure where this one happened. I think it happened in the back of the pack. I didn't see anybody spun around here, but we'll take a look back and see that one. But while we're talking about the Michigan coming up here, these drivers, as you may have seen before earlier in the season, have different theme nights that they run with. As take a look at some 3-wide racing here. And it could have been right there, right here, the 54 in the back of the field there. getting a little bit loose. But Michigan is going to be the missions of Michigan, and it's going to be video game theme for the paint schemes out there. So that'll be a pretty cool one. Again, that we're going to miss broadcasting it live, but I know I'm going to tune back in to see what kind of paint schemes are out there once we're done with our broadcast. Maybe we'll get done in time to hop in here for a little bit. So looking forward to that one from the spectator point of view. But this one's going to bring out another caution here, and this will get us to the halfway point now under caution, as we should be getting the green probably right around the halfway point, and still have Joe Francis out front, Josh Duncan now up there into second place, TJ Hanley, Kent Bice, Cody Brewer for your top 5, Tiffany Ellis, William O'Connor, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Jacobs, and Dylan Emerson for that top 10.
Yeah, that just I think obviously we're in the middle of the race. Drivers maybe realizing they're trying to take advantage of being bunched up like that, and just setting it a little bit harder than they need to. I mean, it's really easy to overdrive Bristol. You don't have to overdrive it as much as you think you do, and there's a lot of coasting going on. But if you drive it too hard in, and that's when the drivers kind of get up into the wall, and you close on somebody's rear bumper pretty fast. So, well, I think maybe hopefully here after these couple cautions here, drivers will calm down just a little bit, settle down, knowing that they still have 80 plus laps to go here as we just crossed the lap, finishing lap number 86, picking up lap 87 here. Lights are off on the pace car. They're in turns 1 and now about to exit 2. Come down that backstretch here for another restart for the beginning of lap number 88.
It'll be Joe Francis leading him back to that restart. We'll see if we can get a good, clean restart here, and hopefully settle into this race a little bit, get some green flag laps for everyone out there tuning in, and see what we got. I know Mike Casey out there just rooting on everyone out there on the track. I know he's got a special place in his heart for that number 6. Clearly, a little home cookie maybe from the 6 team there, and Emma out there rooting on Bice as he's been moving up there up into 5th place, but
that was a
close
bang
to
there.
some incidents there, as I was close to another caution. But we will keep it lean and green here as the car's dancing around here. And really just, you need a good 10-15 laps to kind of separate this field out here a little bit and kind of calm the racing down. But when you have some drivers coming into the pits taking tires, some not, there's going to be a big speed difference. It can really catch some drivers up at times, just diving in the corners, and Duncan diving off of the exit of turn number 4 there as well, but kept it going here, kept it going straight, and we'll keep this thing green. Hopefully, again, they can just settle in here a little bit, just ease it in there, just take your time. Still got a lot of racing left to go.
Tap that.
Tap it in.
Just tap it in. Find the happy place. Yeah, obviously the drivers are trying to be fast, get up front, make a move, get a win here, or at least on the podium to come talk to us. Me and Carl would love to talk to any 3 of y'all, but definitely don't want to. We should do it in a safe manner. We can see the who is that blinking out? That is the 8. Is that the 18? No, it's the 12.
The 12 blinking out a couple times.
Blinking out a few times there. That's
Emma thinks it's funny. If you're a driver out there, especially if you're the 7 or the 60, it's not funny watching that car blink in and out, because you don't know where it's going to blink back in and if it's going to cause you any kind of damage, and that's why you see maybe driving a little tentatively out there behind him.
Yeah, it's tough because that it's not like these cars. You just pick up a position like less than in a split second. It's usually a battle back and forth for a while, and until you can finally make the move, or they let you go, or somebody messes up. But when somebody's blinking, it's just so hard to judge that.
Well, while we are back out here racing under the green flag conditions. I think it's about time that we let these engines roar here a little bit and give everyone in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it. the sights and sounds of not only the cars ripping around the track, but even some more calm sounds with a couple cautions that happened while here at Bristol. Cautions breed cautions, and the drivers getting anxious as this race is coming down to the final 50 laps. Pace cars out there, they are back too wide, coming out of turn number 3 into 4. Pace car is off. Carl, take it away.
We are back to green flag racing here at Bristol, and Joe Francis still in the lead. The 12 of Joe Francis, I believe, Joe Francis, the 12 of Cody Brewer, I believe is in second. He keeps blinking out though, so I can't really tell. Hopefully that does clear up and it doesn't cause any issues here tonight. Francis in the 50, just trying to run away from him as much as possible. Doesn't want to get involved in any kind of issues here tonight. He's been leading pretty much his entire race here so far. Brewer in second, Jacobs, Duncan, and O'Connor for your top 5. Kyle Emerson, Kent Bice, Matthew Hake, Dylan Emerson, and Charlie Stafford for your top 10, as we still got 13 cars on the lead lap. We're down under 50 laps to go in this race. If they keep it green here, it'll go by quickly, but even under caution, you've seen, and we've had a couple cautions under the love to hear it, and it just seems like there's some cars getting a little slow off the corner, other ones really charging the exit of the corner, and both those cautions caused by that exact incident there. But back to green flag racing, and we'll see who can get this thing done if anybody has anything for that 50.
Hey, it's been pretty stout all race from the get-go out here. Maybe it's one of his favorite tracks. Joe, obviously, we've talked to him already a few times. Cody Brewer bouncing in and out continuously here. That is a little bit frustrating, but caution applies here yet once again on lap 131 of 175. It looks like something maybe to deal with Josh Duncan.
Yeah, the 7's certainly a little bit slow. We'll take a look back here and see if this is what brought out the caution. I look to the outside of the 5, and the door slams shut. And then somebody decided to kick in his door as a 60 gets into the back of the 7. Somehow the 5 doesn't get taken out in the process, but another car turned backwards here on the straightaway. And we're going to have another caution here as we're going to be down to less than 40 laps when this thing gets going. And that's one thing. I mean, we get a caution here now at this point in the race, and it almost takes off 5 to 10 laps of the race here just under caution. So you're not really going to have that many chances to make passes, and that's unfortunately why you a lot of times see the cautions breeding caution, because the drivers know that it may be a short little window before you can finally get up there and start making an attempt at another pass before another caution comes out.
Yeah, and you can see a bunch of drivers coming down into pit lane, and they start all the way to the back, come all the way to the front. So it is a long pit road as well, so especially under caution. But cars are in, getting ready to maybe take service, hopefully for the last time. And I'm sure if the drivers, this is the point here where the drivers are probably at excuse me, at that limit. If this thing keeps going caution, they're just going to stay out. They probably won't come back in the rest of the time. They'll definitely have enough fuel. Now it's just serving them or saving them tires and staying out of trouble to the end.
Well, once again, it is Joe Francis back out in front after after everybody else decides to pit. Oh no, he didn't decide to pit. Joe Francis and Matthew Hake staying out there, electing not to pit. So we got some newer cars up there with some fresher tires. We'll see if that is what it takes to get around the 50 here tonight. But he's been a dominant force out here, not relinquishing the lead, but now it's going to be Matthew Hake on the outside. TJ Hanley, Thomas O'Connor, Cody Brewer for the top 5, with the highest running driver with, I believe Thomas O'Connor, I believe he took 2 tires. He's up there in 4th. Cody Brewer on back, all electing to take 4 tires. So see if the freshies are what it takes to get around the 50 here, as we'll head back to the restart zone, and we are back to racing here at Bristol.
Back to racing at Bristol, obviously one of the great tracks. I'm sure there's not a bad seat in the house here. Joe trying to defend his spot as the 13 to the high side of Matthew Hake, trying to get around. Has the angle at the moment and the run, looking to maybe get there here. It's the first time we've seen Matthew Hake up front there in the Ally machine and just kind of rolling. So new tires definitely on the 13. Trying to get a great finish here. TJ Hanley down the apron. That did not look good.
And we will stay green for now, but now there is the caution right there as the 18 was spinning down the backstretch. And not sure who he got tangled with. I think it was Thomas O'Connor and Kent Bice involved in this one.
Oh, no. Oh, net code.
That is horrible right there. I mean, I know we've seen the 12 blinking here and there, but I mean, that was unbelievably horrible right there for the 27-18. That was nowhere near contact. It wasn't, a good look for the 27 to come up off the apron like he did, but it's nowhere near contact. And for the 18 to have to deal with that right there, and then the one comes in and gets involved as well. Doesn't look, too terrible. Certainly the front end banged in there a little bit, but it's just that's a wreck that really shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, tough break there. A little bit of net code, and I seen TJ Hanley kind of go into the corner hot there, and we'll go back here to the incident, but right in front of him. So TJ Hanley at this point, so following the Joe Francis around, going down in the corner, and just like nice low line, and then the car just shoots up. Oh,
we got a little bobble right there.
That's what happened in 27. That's why he had a weird entry. The story unfolds
right there, and then just slides out the track. But you see right here,
right there, boom.
And there's a bike path in between the 27 and 18 there. That's horrible right there.
So much net code. Tough break for those drivers involved here. Thomas O'Connor and Kent Bice being collected as well. Net code playing a role here tonight, but spoiler, Matthew Hake up front in the lead here over Joe Francis. Domination here so far. We're at lap 141 of 175, so things starting to wind down here just a little bit. Still have 35 laps remaining. And they could go by quickly, or a little bit slower if we want to do them under caution. But we will be here to the end. Matthew Hake looking to get a win here on the season. Joe Francis in second, TJ Hanley, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Jacobs for your top five. Dylan Emerson, Cody Brewer, Charlie Stafford, Cody Handler, William O'Connor, Thomas O'Connor, and Kent Bice. All on the lead lap. So 12 cars on the lead lap. Then you have Josh Duncan, Tiffany Ellis, Richard Covington, Anthony Emerson, and Chase Bullard.
So we're going to have one more lap of caution here to get everything sorted out here. But now we'll have to see what Joe Francis can do on the offensive. We've seen him pretty much be defensive this entire race and dominate the race here so far. But now he's got to try and figure out a way to get around another driver and Matthew Hake, who was able to work his way around the outside to make the pass here. And it seems like that's definitely a good racy line to get to the high side. If you can get a good enough run to get on the outside of the guy you're trying to pass, you can really make that move happen. But we'll see as the laps are indeed winding down. We're down close to 30 laps left in this race when we get this thing back under green. Matthew Hake, Joe Francis, TJ Hanley, Kyle Emerson, Dylan Jacobs for your top five as the pace car is going to make that left-hand turn, that violent left-hand turn down onto the 8. I mean, it's got some fantastic suspension on that pace car, as that is going to go right back to a caution, as the car that was dominating here tonight had to start on the outside, and I believe this is the first time he had to start on the outside, and spun the tires badly enough that it's going to go right around on him and right in front of the entire field. Looks like Kyle Emerson is going to end up with a black flag on this one. Like Charlie Stafford, I believe, is going to end up with a meatball. The 50 of Joe Francis, you see it right there. Not sure if he got any help by the 60 or not, but the 60 ends up going around. The 6 gets damaged. The 28, the 24, This collects about half of the field. This is this, I guess you could say, is the big one at Bristol.
Yeah, this is a pretty big wreck here. As you can see, 60 to 50. It looks like the 24 coming down into the 18, 6 down into the 17, 28's going for a ride. Couple drivers trying to sneak through there. Looks like they make it, but 28 getting down in front of the 88. Yeah, quite a few cars getting involved here on this one. Late in the show, late in the race here. We're on lap 146 of 175, and Matthew Hake is your current leader. With TJ Hanley, Dylan Jacobs, Cody Brewer, William O'Connor, Kent Bice, and Cody Handler. And then you had a bunch of people take to the pits. Kyle Emerson, Thomas O'Connor, Joe Francis, Dylan Emerson, Charlie Stafford, and Tiffany Ellis all down there trying to get the repairs, trying to get some sort of vehicle to be out here. Your car doesn't need to be pretty here, Carl. That's for sure.
No, and I think by the end of this thing, I think you're going to see a lot of cars with some kind of damage before this thing is over. So we'll see who can survive the longest and who has what it takes to get here to the end. But Matthew Hake now doesn't have Joe Francis to deal with, at least immediately, as Francis into pit lane, and he's going to come back out there probably outside at the top 10. But there's quite a few cars here that are still a bit damaged, and it may only be the top 10 left on the lead lap at this point.
Yeah, you can go down pretty quickly here, and now obviously Lucky Dog's position becomes a big role. You know, we had some races at some super speedways these past few days, and I think it was last night where we had Tuesday night. Yeah, we had lap cars that were with the leaders. But there's like 3 of them, and they weren't trying to battle to get on the Lucky Dog spot. They were trying to battle because they're fighting for position because there's only a couple laps to go. But they were kind of all intermingled, and it was definitely made for some interesting racing, as those 3 were mixing it up with the top 3. It's just the way they kind of things have fell throughout the night at Daytona. So yeah, it was an interesting battle. But the pace car is in. And TJ Hanley and Matthew Hake out front.
To racing here, and a lot cleaner start from the field this time, as Joe Francis was trying to catch up to the back of the field here. Matthew Hake out front, but again, haven't had a chance to really see it come to fruition yet, but he is no longer in the lead, and actually it looks like maybe a penalty for TJ Hanley, as he does have the black flag. He's going to have to come in, maybe jump in the start. To the pits. Matthew Hake back to the lead. Dylan Jacobs in there, but we're going to have another caution, as a big incident there for Kent Bice into the inside wall. And I know that's definitely not what Emma wanted to see on that one, but we'll see it right here again. Drifts up through the exit of the corner.
Checks up for the 6.
It was a 6 in front of him, as he gets into the wall, into the back of the 6, and the 21 is going to finish him off, setting him down into the inside wall for a pretty heavy impact.
It sends that number 1 car for a ride. There's another one sideways. Does look like a few cars also getting involved. Charlie Stafford and a few others.
And you can definitely tell it's coming to the end of the race here, and you know, these drivers are really trying to go after it right away and as quick as possible. But it's more often than not just leads to more issues here and more cautions, as you see the 28 going around backwards here. And I'm wondering, Jimmy, is it better maybe that all the drivers just turn around right now, just drive backwards that way when they get wrecked? There, at least they're pointing the right direction.
Let's get it over with, right? But drivers coming in, people serving, getting their meatballs fixed, all kinds of things going on. Yeah, the one there, Bice, definitely had a meatball. It does look like he's still in there, so gonna be a tough break there for the one. Dylan Jacobs still up front. Cody Brewer, Cody Handler, Kyle Emerson and Joe Francis for your top 5. Oh.
I thank everyone for tuning in here again tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that's here it has to offer. As it looks like Ken Bice with a meatball flag here. Gonna have to get that one served if he's got any fast repairs left. And getting this late in the race, I'm wondering who's got any left. 12 still blinking out, but he may blink his way to a good finish here tonight. As he was up there in second place. Dylan Jacobs, your leader here. We got some fresher tires mixed in through the rest of the field, though, from about 5th on back. So we'll see if they can make their way up here, if there's enough green flag laps to do so, because right now track position is going to be pretty big. We got 20 laps to go, but will we have enough green flag laps to kind of shift everything up? We're about to see how this restart goes. The pace car lights are out. Going to make that left-hand turn into pit lane. It's going to be in the hands and control of the 5, Dylan Jacobs. He's back on the loud pedal, and we are racing again here at Bristol.
Down the corner, and this is something I'm we're all on board here with Kyle Emerson as he looks on to the 12 of Cody Brewer and Dylan Jacobs in the beginning, and it's something he needs to just kind of be careful and maybe just more leery as those tires are warming up, and he wants to be up there to race with these two, but that you see that 12 blinking in and out, and it's so hard to race against at times. 5 bouncing off the walls, and 12 gets down to the inside. 12 gets down there on that inside trying to get a move. You see Bice down there on the inside on the apron as they go by still, but Cody Brewer out the lead, but a nice run there by Kyle Emerson going to the outside, and he just needs to stay high. Hopefully the 12 knows he's there and will give him room.
Not sure if the 12 knows where he is at this point. He's been blinking out there so much, but Dylan Jacobs finally clears to make the pass to stay in first place. But how about Joe Francis back up here in the mix? He's clearly got a fast number 50 out here tonight. Now looks to the high side around the 12 to try and move up into second position and give it to the 50 at the line, as he's now got his eyes set on the 5 of Dylan Jacobs. Thought about going to the inside, but I don't think he knew where the 12 was. So he's going to have to settle in for now. Going to try and get a good run off the corner. Turns it down the hill, but not enough just yet. He's going to force Jacobs to the high side. He's got the fresher tires. And the 50 back out to the lead. Still not completely clear. The 60 trying to follow suit and going to do so. A great pass on the 12 and then right down to the bottom of the 5. As we got a new leader, we got a new second place just like that.
It doesn't take long. Tires are huge here at Bristol for sure. I think obviously when the races I ran here and the one I won, they're D series, so there is no cautions. So it's all about managing your tires and your fuel and when to take your tires, because you don't want to be in a spot where you're so slow, you're losing a lot of time, but you want to get them tires so you get enough fuel to the end. But anyways, we were out there, and finally it was just one of those ones where you were able to just kind of new tires, and you were just driving by. You didn't even know who you were passing at times, whether you were getting a lap back or you were as for position. Everybody was so spread out. But 10 laps to go here tonight at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing at Bristol.
And as Joe Francis, not only is he out front, but he is checking out, as he is out to about a 1.5 second lead over Kyle Emerson in second. Cody Brewer, Josh Duncan, Dylan Emerson for your top 5. Dylan Jacobs, excuse me, now sliding back to 6th place. William O'Connor, Cody Handler, Matthew Hake, and TJ Hanley for your top 10. Definitely can't ride on board with the 12, even if we wanted to. Blinks out way too much.
I tried.
But Joe Francis trying
this is anti-broadcaster's curse switch. Get off me.
We are getting close to the last 5 laps of the race here, as you see under green. Clicks by pretty quickly here by 15-second lap times, as Joe Francis now clearing out there by 2 seconds. But the close battle right here between 3rd and 4th. Kyle Emerson in the 60, Josh Duncan in the 7, and then TJ Hanley back there a lap down in 10th place, just trying to keep it up there and maybe have a chance to get that lap back via the lucky dog. But he's going to have to do it quickly if a caution were to come out, because we are under 5 laps to go. Joe Francis trying to run as fast as he can to get this race done as quick as possible. I'm sure he doesn't want to have to deal with another restart here. I mean, he would be on the inside as the leader. It didn't like the outside too much involved in that last incident, but made his way back up through the field with those fresh tires. Right tires at the right time and paying off here for the 50, as he's been the fastest car here tonight by far, and Cody Brewer trying his best to run him down, but I don't think there's much that Cody can do. It seems like maybe it's the internet's finally calmed down for him, that he could actually race and you could see him for an entire lap. So at least he's got that going for him. But we are on the final lap here tonight. Joe Francis on to the backstretch. He is certainly well deserving of this win here tonight. He's been the fastest car, had to fight back through late in the race though with new tires, but the 50 of Joe Thomas, your victor here tonight. Cody Brewer is going to blink his way to second place. Josh Duncan in third. Kyle Emerson, Dylan Emerson for fourth and fifth. Dylan Jacobs going to get it home in sixth. William O'Connor, Matthew Hake, Cody Handler, and TJ Hanley for your top 10. Thomas O'Connor, Richard Covington, Anthony Emerson, Kent Bice, Tiffany Ellis, Charlie Stafford, and Chase Bullard for your 17 car field. But the 50 of Joe Thomas, we'll wait for everybody to clear on by, and then I'm sure he'll get to doing a little bit of celebrating on the front stretch.
Joe Francis, or is it read something else?
Nope, Joe Francis. What did I say? Did I say something else?
Joe Thomas.
Oh yeah, no, not Joe Thomas. Wrong league. Joe Francis. Francis. It's all blended together at this point.
It's good to see the 50 get a win here tonight. That was an impressive drive. Obviously, you can see how much a big deal new tires is. So he was able to pretty much drive wherever he wanted to go through the field, putting on a pretty stellar performance here, giving some of these drivers something to kind of go back and look at to kind of see how he handled the car and when he was on and off the gas. But yeah, he'll get the win here tonight over Cody Brewer and Josh Duncan. We'll go ahead and flash up the rest of the results here tonight to see where maybe your favorite driver finished and how well they did. So we'll go here, we'll pull up the race results here, and it is Joe Francis, Cody Brewer, Josh Duncan, and we will talk to them here shortly. Then Kyle Emerson, Dylan Jacobs, William O'Connor, Matthew Hake, Cody Handler, TJ Hanley, Thomas O'Connor, Richard Covington, Anthony Emerson, Kent Bice, Tiffany Ellis, Charlie Stafford, and Chase Bullard for your race. So what was it, 9 cars on the lead lap, 2 cars were only a lap down, had a couple 4 lap down cars, 1 at 6 laps, and then a few that cut out just a little bit earlier. Charlie Stafford and Chase Bullard cutting it early here. But yeah, I think that overall, Carl, was a pretty nice race for everybody here tonight, and looking forward to seeing the next one.
Yeah, Bristol can be tough on even the best drivers out here, especially with these next gen cars. They may not be bigger than other cars like the Xfinity, width wise, but they seem it. They seem like they're boats sometimes, especially when you get to these tight quarters like these short track races. And I think the walls and the other cars just kind of caught up to each other pretty quickly here. But let's go ahead and get our top 3 in for their interviews. And Jimmy, we're going to start with our third place finisher here tonight, the 7 of Josh Duncan.
Crazy.
Hey, Josh, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. Do you copy?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Hey, well, welcome to the booth here. Congratulations on having a great run out there with the number 7, but just wanted to get your side of the story and tell us how everything went for yourself.
Man, it was, ironically, I started off probably a couple hours ago telling these guys I didn't even want to come race tonight. I hate this. I shouldn't say hate, but this car and this track, this car and this track just frustrate me. But man, I got in here a little early, and my man TJ kind of walked me through some stuff and put down some good laps. Got figured a line out, and here we are in third place. So it was fun.
Yeah.
Kind of up and down, but it was a blast.
Hey, sometimes you go out there and you don't get any better unless you get it here, and you prove you prove that here yourself by just coming out here, and somebody with a helping hand kind of led the way for you, but paved yourself a nice path here for a great finish. Kind of hectic through the middle of the race with a few cautions, but played in your favor as that number 7 finishes here in third. So from CRN and everybody else out there, we want to say congratulations, and then give you some time for any shouts that you might have at that number 7.
I just shout out my DRD visuals. We do like design and photography work, also some rap stuff. So my homie didn't make it to the race tonight. He's normally racing with us as well with a similar car. And anybody that watches that's supporting me, I appreciate everybody. This was a blast.
We hope to see you next week in the same fashion up here and talking in the booth with us. So again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 7 of Josh Duncan. Second place here tonight, blinking his way to a second place finish, is the 12 of Cody Brewer. Cody, I'm sure you probably heard it from the other racers out there. It was a good race for you. You finished in second, but I mean, I guess it's easy to do that when you're not out there actually on the track. You can save plenty of tires and fuel. It probably helped you stretch that thing out.
Yeah, that helped a lot. I still don't know what causes it, but hopefully it'll be fixed for the future races. I had no problems last week, and then we come here and it's the worst blinking race I've had.
Yeah, it's a small track here, but I think with the crowd and the fans and everything like that, I think it for some reason likes to take a toll on the systems. But I mean, for the most part, you had the number 12 up there up front for a majority of the race and battling for the lead a couple times. It just seemed like Joe Francis just had the right tires at the right time. Do you think there's anything different you could have done here in the race to try and get up there and battle him for the win?
Did he blink out?
Yep.
Nope, I'm here. I just closed my Discord. I don't know. Joe is so fast anywhere he put his car. It was, you try to make him run the bottom and get the run off the top. You couldn't do it. And you get down on the bottom with him, and he was so hooked down there. You get in dirty air. It was just he was leaps and bounds faster on that short run, and I needed really long runs, and we got a couple of them, but not enough that I needed to, I think, challenge.
Yeah, I think his only kryptonite tonight was having to restart on the outside when he was in second place to Matthew Hake, and didn't exactly get the power down too well and going back through the pack. But either way, you survive the Coliseum here tonight. You get yourself up here in a podium spot. So all in all, I mean, it's got to feel like a win just finishing one of these races.
Yeah, absolutely. Not having to use, I think I only had to use one fast repair, so that's a positive. And before I go, I just want to thank Dylan Jacobs for the paint scheme. He's designed our whole team's paints for Hendrick, so thanks to him, and hopefully I can get it in victory lane this year.
Well, you got Michigan coming up next week. It's a favorite for myself and Jimmy. Unfortunately, we're not going to be here. We'll have other broadcasters covering the race for you guys as we have a 2-hour finale for another series. But I mean, it's got to feel like a breath of fresh air after the tight low confines here at Bristol.
Yeah, being able to go 3-4 wide comfortably there, and a draft. It's not a super speedway, but it races kind of like one with the draft. So there'll be comers and goers. We'll just have to hope we're there at the end.
All right, buddy. Well, hopefully, I'll be tuning in afterwards and watching it back to see the cool paint schemes out there. So I'm sure Cody will be getting a new paint scheme there for the Missions of Michigan video game theme paint schemes. I'll be looking forward to that. But before we let you go and get out of here tonight and celebrate the second place finish, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just Dylan and Cody and all the guys for putting the league together.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the second place. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week at Michigan.
Awesome. Thank you.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, Cody Brewer in the 12. Top spot here tonight, and it took a little comeback at the end, but he was definitely the man to beat the 50 of Joe Francis.
Joe, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, I do. How are you all doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. In dominating fashion from the rip. Get that 50 out there. But after one of the restarts, spin them tires and find yourself in a little sticky predicament later in the race, able to get some new tires and drive yourself right back to the front with a vengeance. Definitely a class act here tonight. So for me, congratulations. But I want to get your side of the story and kind of what happened and how everything else was out there for you.
Yeah, through most of the night, I just tried to be as smooth as possible. I was determined to keep the lead as much as possible because I know the tires can wear in a oddly specific way here. So I just tried to keep the lead and run the bottom as much as possible. And even when we got with like 70 to go, I figured I'll just stay out because, the tires can be weird here. And if you get cautions, they can cool down and they'd be perfectly fine for a little while. And I guess then I think it was Matthew that was able to pull a quick one on me and got the lead. And then I got stuck on the outside. And I had success on the outside once earlier tonight, but not with maybe 40 lap old tires. So got it a little too hard, got sideways, got into the wall, and had to start on the back. I thought it would be over by then, but I guess some other guys decided to pit, and it gave me fairly good track position. Then I just put the foot to the floor after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tires at Bristol are such a huge advantage as this concrete surface definitely eats them up. And you're not wrong; they do wear funny and they do act funny. It was a cooler night here tonight for y'all too, so that could have been a good reason for these tires to kind of just be lasting so long as well. So, but either way, man, you're always out there putting on a show for everybody, and coming away here with a victory tonight is just another example of why the 50 is dominant here at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. So congratulations on your victory here tonight from us and the fans, but we would like to give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 50 before we let you out of here.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast and the guys for putting on the league. I still don't know everybody's name, but and a selfish shout out. If you look at my car, I actually got the right scheme on.
Yes.
But Numbers by Joe is my personal business. It's if you got a favorite iRacing number, or even if you own a race car and run a number in real life, I can turn it into a custom painted plaque for you. And another thing I might be doing in the future is within a couple months, hopefully I'll start producing some custom die-cast displays. And the goal with those is to be completely affordable, because every time I look at displays online, they cost an arm and a leg. The ones I make might not be as flashy, but they're a lot more affordable and hold a lot of cars. So feel free to hop on my Twitter, just Joe Francis, and scroll through there, see some of the stuff I made, and scroll through there, you might see some of the prototype displays I've built, and contact me if anybody's interested.
Definitely sounds like a deal to me if you're in that sort of a thing, a collection and for diecast cars. But look Joe up for sure. But again, congratulations. Thanks for the shout outs, man. Awesome run here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yeah, appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 50 of Joe Francis getting it done. And if you look at the laps led, it looked like he just got out there and just dominated tonight. But he took a little bit of a comeback there from Joe after the mid or late race issue. But he got it done nonetheless. Winner here tonight for the 175 laps at Bristol. Again, next week is going to be the next races that you'll see from us, as we are going to be off for a week after tomorrow night. We got the Core GT series tomorrow, but then myself and Jimmy will be back not until Wednesday. So I'm going to hope everybody enjoys your Labor Day weekend. Have some fun out there, and then get back here on Wednesday night for some more racing action here at the Core Racing Network. But for myself and Jimmy here from the Bristol Motor Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.